The Man of Steel 2018, the first story written by Brian Michael Bendis, the big Marvel writer jumping into DC. His first beginning, middle, and end story is a 6-part miniseries with Superman that will lead up to his main Superman one with Action Comics and the regular Superman title. And this story is, I would say it's good. I mean, it's not perfect. I'll say it's good. There's several problems, definitely when it comes to 4 and 5 and some main plot stuff that really bugged me. And here's the thing: it's one of those things where I was more interested about the other areas, like doing with the fires and doing with um Jonathan and Lois, what's doing with them. I was more interested in that versus the main plot, because for me the villain wasn't that interesting. He shows up and I'm like, okay, it's the first issue, fine, there's plenty of time. And I read it and I'm like, okay, I read it and I'm like, he's your generic evil guy. Yes, he wants to destroy Kryptonians. Yes, he destroyed Krypton. He does this, he does that. And yes, when he destroyed Kendor, I was like, that motherfucker destroyed Kendor. That he destroyed Kendor. How okay, Kara Clark, you beat the living shit out of that dude. Basically, I was really out the pit. I was like, how dare he? And then, but the more I think about it, set the Kendor situation, and he just felt like your generic evil dude to get punched at. Pretty much that. And that's really a shame, really. Now, and yes, issues 4 and 5 are very sluggish. They're very slow with the writing. The art is very jumbled. Just the whole thing. You're not a fan of the art, so it's just one of those you're just flipping the page and you're like, what I'm looking at? What am I looking at? Can we just when it's next week, please? Can the art change? Now I would say this, that Bendis writes more of the DC universe characters more than the Superman, and his Superman is just spot on. Definitely issue 1, where he talks about when Superman mentions about while flying around, he's trying to remember this woman doing a cover of a song. He's like, what is it? What is it? He can't think about it. And I'm like, oh my god, this is Superman. This is Superman to a T. How he describes it. It's beautiful dialogue and beautiful wits and stuff. But he writes Green Lantern. I was like, that's cool. That's a cool Green Lantern. Now he writes a little bit of Wonder Woman. That's cool. He writes Supergirl. That's great. The one member, and I think a lot of people know where I'm heading for it. This Bendis needs to write Batman. He needs to do a Batman book. Why Justice League or something? I don't know. It's just his Batman is so damn perfect. Just the character itself. I was like, I'm curious what it would be if he just took over Tom King or something. Just I'm curious. So yeah. I mean, it's not the most perfect story. I mentioned all my deep points, all that. The Jonathan Lois stuff took its time, took a little bit too long for my taste. But when it comes out, that final issue where Clark doesn't want Jonathan to go, and Lois, and it does feel like this entire story is basically just Bendis remembers Superman being the last son of Krypton and the last Kryptonian, so he's trying his very hardest to make that happen. So kind of making Jonathan's over there, Kara's gonna be at space, Kendor is destroyed. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Supes is gonna be the only Kryptonian on Earth. That's what it feels like a little bit. But I'm curious. I'm going to read his Superman ones with Action Comics and Action Comics and the regular Superman book. I'm quite curious at how that is, how it's written, how it's take place. Yeah, I think okay way to start the new one.